Previously in part 1.
Everything you need to know to begin your parts work practice. Here are some answers to the most common questions beginners ask about parts work.
And now, part 2.
So those were answers to common questions for folks that are just thinking about learning more about parts work. These are some answers to common questions about folks that are getting started with parts work and have already developed a parts work practice. So if you are already on the path to getting to know your parts, here are some common answers to the most common questions people ask about this stage of the process. If you have heard of IFS or parts work before, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel because that is what we are about here, and ain't nobody talking about parts work the way that I am talking about parts work. Okay, I'm ready to try this out. How should I start getting to know my parts? Wonderful! Yay, good job. I created a free Meet Apart worksheet for this very reason. You can download it using the link in the description. What does going inside mean? Going inside refers to focusing your attention on your inner world. It can often feel like a U-turn, turning your attention from the outer world around you to 180 degrees to now focus inward on what is happening in your body and in your inner world. Does it work best to journal or to meditate when getting to know my parts? I bet you'll be able to guess the answer. It's whatever works best for you. If you are a natural meditator and are comfortable finding clarity in your inner world that way, totally try getting to know your parts that way. Some folks can communicate best with their parts through journaling. I recommend starting with what's called hash mark journaling, where you write a dash and then ask your part a question, and then you write another dash on the following line, followed by the part's response. This can provide some loose structure, but also, keep enough space to go with the flow. If you're looking for good questions to ask your parts through journaling or meditation, definitely check out my free Meet a Part of You worksheet. Sometimes I go inside to meet a part and then suddenly just go blank. What do I do? First of all, do not worry. This is a really common and perfectly normal experience, even for those of us who have been doing parts work for a long time. Sometimes our parts are a little bit shy. So the first thing to do is just to settle into the emptiness. It's okay if nothing is showing up. It's okay if nothing ends up showing up at all. You can just start by using this going blank time as a time to relax a little deeper into your inner world. Sometimes you just need some transition time. Very often, the blank sensation comes from the parts of us that are trying to figure something out or trying to get it right. There is nothing to figure out and there is nothing to get right when it comes to parts work. All you can do is be present with yourself and see if any part of you wants to come out for a visit. And once you relax a bit more, the going blank feeling will go away and you will find ease and peace in the spaciousness. And from there, a part of you might want to show up or maybe not. Sometimes parts of us don't yet feel safe to come out for a clear, explicit conversation. So it's important to let that be okay and to extend to them all the patience they need without trying to force anything. Another thing that sometimes happens is another part of you will come in and make you go blank, usually trying to protect you from something underneath, from what's actually happening. So if that's the case, I just invite you to gently feel the blankness itself as if it was a part, and that's the part that you've got to build trust with first. What if I go inside and ask a part something and I don't hear anything back from them? Sometimes our parts need to feel us out more before they feel safe enough to have a full-on conversation. So instead of trying to force a part of you to have a conversation with you, ask it if that is something it's available for. If it says no or if it doesn't respond, just focus on holding the part in loving awareness and compassion. Love, compassion, and curiosity are what build trust. I don't always see or hear something when I talk to a part. Sometimes it's just darkness and a faint sense of knowing they're there or what they might be saying. Is that normal? Yep, totally normal. Some people are more visual and will see things clearly. Some people are so auditory, it's like they can really hear their parts, and other people can't see or hear anything at all when they go inside. Sometimes it really is just a faint sense of knowing, and that's perfectly fine. You're not supposed to be experiencing this. You're not supposed to be experiencing your inner world any differently than you already are, and how you naturally experience your parts is perfectly okay. What does being blended with a part mean? Being blended with a part means that a part of you has taken over your focus so so much that it's like you're seeing through its eyes. All you can feel is how this part feels. All you can think is how this part thinks. And this part has grabbed the mic and is speaking from your own mouth. That's what it feels like to be blended. And we've all been there, yeah? It usually happens when our trauma has been triggered or when a situation feels really high stakes that a part just comes in and takes over our nervous system and blends with us. The problem that comes when we are blended with a part of us is that we can't help it when it has taken us over. So once we notice we are blended with a part, which is a skill set in and of itself, it just takes time and practice, then we can say, hey, part, like I see you're upset and needing something. Can you give me a little more space in here so I can be with you and help you get what you need? The more trust we've built with our parts, the quicker they will unblend. When I go inside, it's super hard to focus on just one part. It's like all these parts keep interrupting one another. What do I do? Yeah, I have so been there. This is also really normal when it comes to getting started and when trying to do parts work around a situation that feels really high stakes. The first thing I recommend in this situation is not to try to talk to any part or figure anything out right away. Just see if you can get to a space where you're watching all your parts running around or hearing all their chatter or feeling the energy in your body and just like notice for a while. You might have parts that are yelling at you to try and join them in their panic, but just thank those parts for trying to protect you and go on noticing best you can. And bonus points if you can send them compassion as you are witnessing them, knowing that each and every one of these parts is only ever doing its best to love, be loved, and stay safe. Eventually, your parts will notice there is someone else in here, you, and they will get curious enough to slow down enough to have a proper conversation with you. And that's when you can really begin that inner dialogue. Now that I've met a few of my parts, what's next? So awesome that you've met a few of your parts. You have just started on an incredible journey. The journey of creating your dream life from the inside out. The journey of healing your trauma from the root. The journey of setting yourself free. So you've got lots and lots of options about how to move forward from here. The first is to check out my course Parts Work Academy. Not because I'm trying to hawk my shit, but because I have truly jam-packed this course with so much value, so much conversation around parts, not just parts, but synthesizing it with other modalities that make it even simpler. I don't know of anything else out there like it. Another option is to get yourself a parts work practitioner. The IFS Institute has a directory of IFS practitioners you can find. And I'm also available for one-on-one VIP coaching. I may or may not have spots left depending on when you watch this, but it's worth checking out. You can learn more about all of my offers on my website. There are also countless books you can read and Facebook groups you can join that are full of parts work and internal family systems enthusiasts. I highly, highly encourage you to get connected with more people on their parts work journey because this work is something that we were always meant to do in a community. We weren't meant to do this alone. So there you have it. Everything you need to get started with parts work. Cultivating a parts work practice is the difference between struggling to heal your trauma and actually healing your trauma. I have seen this over and over again in my own life and also in the lives of my clients. If you want to start your own parts work practice, a great place to start is my free Meet a Part of You worksheet. You can check that out using the link in the description. And there are lots more helpful videos where this came from, so make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.